my channel. Welcome if you're new. This is Wheelsnoheels. So today I wanted to film a video all about parenting toddlers in a wheelchair. So I've done the whole pregnancy and newborn thing, and now we're going to move over to my tips and tricks for toddlers. So you kind of get in your groove with your baby and you've got it down and you're like, I can cope with this, and then this little tiny thing starts walking and moving around and it's like, oh my god, what are we going to do now? Here are my tips. Remember, if you are a parent with a disability or even without a disability and you've got some tips, make sure that you pop them down below so that we can all share. Okay, so the first thing that I would recommend is sort of getting their tantrums and things like that and their behaviour under control before you kind of leave the house. I have been told that children love to have a routine. They love to know what they're doing, where they're going, you know, that kind of stuff, because it makes them feel secure, and when they feel secure they're less likely to go out of control. In some cases, obviously, everyone's different. So yeah, we would always have our set routine, and also if my daughter was playing up or being difficult, we introduced the naughty step or the reflection step. If you don't have a step in your house, you could have the reflection area. Some people don't like to call it a naughty step because a naughty step is labelling the child as naughty when maybe they don't actually need to go and sit there too because they've been naughty. They might just need to go and sit there because they need some time out because they're just going crazy. So some people call it a reflection step or time out. So I actually called it a naughty step. So the naughty step or reflection step, you sit them on there if they've been naughty or whatever for 1 minute of every year they've been born. So if they're 3, you sit them there for 3 minutes. If they're 8, you sit them there for 8 minutes. If they're 50, like my husband, you sit them there for 50 minutes. Then they are going to learn. But in all seriousness, I found it to work really, really well. And if, you know, she wasn't getting dressed, she wasn't doing things, or she was just doing something naughty, I would always give a warning first, do that again, and you'll go and sit on the naughty step. If you're out and about, you might not have a naughty step. So what you can do is take a little spot with you, and they could just sit on a spot in the floor, on the floor. Obviously if you're shopping it's a bit hard, but if you're out in a park, or if you're out with friends, or if you're around a friend's house, you can just go and put them in some time out area where they are. But I do find, you know, when they're just going crazy and they're being naughty and it just goes on and on and on and on, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, but then all of a sudden you go and put them on the naughty step or reflection step, and they think about what they have done, and sometimes it just takes the edge off. Because what they're doing is they are trying to find that boundary, and they need that security. They need to hear the word no. They need to hear the, you know, that that's not okay. And I have found that once she came off the naughty step, I would come down to her level, or we would be eye contact, sit her on my lap, and I would say, look, I put you here because you weren't getting dressed when I asked you to, and you were torturing the cat. So I sat you here for 3 minutes, you know, kind of thing. Now what do you say? Sorry, kiss, cuddle, completely forget about it and move on. And it worked a charm. It really, really did. Another thing that I would always do is I would always follow through with a threat. So, do that again and you'll go and sit on the naughty step. Oh, Sebastian, do that again and you won't have any marshmallows for your dessert. And the amount of times I hear people just saying, do that again and you won't do this, do that again and you won't, and it just goes on and on and on. And the child is like, I can get away with this. And they're just going to carry on doing it, and they're going to go crazy, you're going to go crazy. They need to hear no, they need to have that cut off to feel secure within themselves. So always follow through with a threat. So one of the biggest questions that I know you're going to ask me is, what do we do when we go out and about? And it is hard, especially when it's windy and raining. Oh, it is hard work. But I had a little kind of lead type thing that that I attached onto my wheelchair, and then my daughter could hold onto the lead, and I would know that she's secure and safe, because obviously when you're out and about you want to be able to hold their hands, don't you? But by attaching this lead, she felt more secure, and I felt secure as well that she was holding onto it. She wasn't restrained to the chair, she was holding on to the lead so she could let go whenever she wanted. Another thing that she used to do is she used to hold on to the bar at the back of my wheelchair, and it kind of looked like she was pushing me, but she was just holding on. But when she was holding on at the back, you can't hear them. So you don't know if they've let go and they've wandered off somewhere and you're just happily wandering around the store. And yeah, there's just no child to be had. But she is such a little princess, and she would wear little high-heeled shoes. Only for short distances. I wouldn't force her to wear them. But you know, those little clippity-clop shoes. And you could hear them. And then I could hear when she wandered off. So yeah, little clippity-clop shoes were quite handy. Or you could even put like little bell type, I know it sounds a bit silly putting bells on them, but you could put like a little jingly bell type thing on them so you can hear that they're still attached. Yeah, because she was wearing the high-heeled shoes as well, she couldn't run away. She would just totter away. Bless her heart. Oh. But yeah, that was quite handy. Another really good piece of advice that someone else gave me who also had a spinal cord injury was, when you go out and about, make sure you have a special voice for calling them back, or if they're in real danger or something like that, and if they were to run off. This voice is a voice that you must never ever use, but only in this circumstance, when you're out and about, when their life is potentially at risk. So like a really deep bellowing stop voice, so that they know, oh God, mummy means business, I better do as I'm told, or daddy. So yeah, that was really good. So I would have like this freaky voice. I have to say, she was pretty good, and I didn't really have to use it that much, but it is very handy. Another thing that is a really good tip, make sure you have loads of food, loads of spare clothes, loads of nappies and those kind of things. Food, I don't know, toddlers, they just love to eat all the time, so that is a very good bargaining tool. Also, as your child gets older and they go and play in parks and things like that, and I still use this to this day, but to call her, again, I have a special call. So if my daughter is like at the other end of the park, it's very difficult for me to wheel myself all the way over there and be like, come on darling, it's time to go, or something like that. So my husband is Australian, and out in the bush they do this special kind of call, and it's like a coo-wee kind of call, and that frequency travels further than if you were just to go help. So what we do is we do a really loud coo, and she knows instantly then that she needs to come. And I've been in like a big group of friends and they've been off playing. Obviously she's not a toddler anymore, she's old enough to go off and play in the park while I'm there. And the friends will be like, oh, we need to get our daughter, and they're like, come on, let's go. And you know, they just don't listen, but then I'll just go, coo, and then my daughter will be like, come on guys, we've got to go. And yeah, she'll come. So yeah, that's a really good idea. Or even have a whistle, something like that, so that they know to come back to you. And maybe give them a reward for coming back, like a reward chart, or if you want to give them a nice lolly or an apple if you're that way inclined. But yeah, that's a really handy tip. A great tip for you is when you convert from the baby car seat, you know, for like little babies that you kind of hold, or you can put on prams. The car seat that we then progressed to, the ones where they kind of sit up in, we moved over to the MAXI-COSI Access, I believe it was called. It might have changed, but I will see if I can find a video link for it so you can check it out, because I cannot recommend it highly enough. So the MAXI-COSI Access, it swivels 180 so that it faces the front where the driver's seat is, but then you can click a button and swivel it round so that when you go and put your child in, you can go like that belt them in and then swivel them round again, rather than having to like put them in and get the belt over and do all that. So the MAXI-COSI access is amazing. Another tip is to have a reward chart. Those are really great. We had a reward chart when she got a certain amount of stickers. We were going to buy her a scooter, because at that age really the value of money she doesn't want to collect money, she wants toys. Or some people would have jars and they'd put glass marbles in them, and when they filled them up then their child would get a treat. So a reward chart is really good, and obviously if you've got a jar then you can take them away as easily as you put them in. Another good thing is to be really positive as well. So if your little person has done something really good, praise them for doing something really good, even if it is so mundane, like they ate their cereal.
Oh, well done! You ate all your cereal and you're so good!
It makes their world. It really does. It really does. But the tiniest things that you might overlook, they need that. They need to feel good. They need to feel praised so that they can distinguish what is good and what is bad. And I found that to work really well. So I think that is it for my tips. I hope you found this useful. Remember to drop your tips down below. Let me know what your favourite tip of mine was that you're going to give a go. And make sure, if you haven't subscribed already, you hit that subscribe button, because I'd love to have you back. Thumbs up, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye!